I was hoping some of them would use the toilets down We're just waiting on answer. Right. Okay, right. Okay, we're back into the meeting now, so let's please attend to the meeting. The town clerk and I have decided the community warden, item number 15, will come next. We will then swap items 16 and 17 so that we have the traffic regulation order. Number 18 will come after the community warden's report. So members of the public that have been very patient, we will get you out as soon as we possibly can. I do thank you for your patience. Thank you very much for that. So I'd ask the community warden to give his report. Peter Gill, thank you for coming.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, council officers. So I'm Peter Gill, the KCC community warden, currently based in Sandwich. I was aware that a number of council members have changed in the last few months, so I just wanted to give you an update and introduce myself to you. So in 2004, the KCC community warden scheme started, and it had a tagline, trusted friends of the community. And community wardens were and have been deployed in rural and semi-rural areas since that time, for about 19 years or so. Originally it was planned that wardens would be deployed in areas where there was either no or very low policing, because people had responded to various surveys saying that they wanted to see a uniform presence of some description in their villages. Hence the survey started. Originally there was a target of 100 community wardens that was never reached, and when I joined the service in 2019, having had a full career in border force, we had 70 wardens. Currently we stand at 60 wardens covering Kent. I focus on three main areas: visual presence, community engagement and referrals. And I've chosen to be based in Sandwich because I believe it's important to be at the centre, but my predecessor was actually based in Eastry. So originally it was Eastry, Sandwich was added to Eastry, Ash has been added, and now I also cover from Nonnington, Preston, Wingham and all the connecting villages around Sandwich. So for visual presence, I try and stay out and about in uniform as much as possible. I've been undertaking public surgery at the Thursday market, Sandwich Market, between 10 and 12, sometimes with representatives from Dover District Council or from the police. You'll see me out and about in uniform. Hopefully I am approachable. With regard to community engagement, I attend clubs and activities throughout the area, including groups in Ash, in Eastry, at St Clement's Church Hall, and also I engage with the Eastry Youth Club on a Tuesday or Wednesday evening. So with regard to referrals, I get referrals from social services, age concern, the public, social prescribers working at GP surgeries, pharmacies, the Building Society, Dover District Council and all sorts of different areas. Some of my referrals can be really minor, and it might just be a brief welfare check which would take 5 minutes, knock on the door. And others can be far more complicated and can take weeks, if not months and months of work. There are some people that I'm still visiting on a fortnightly basis from about 3 or 4 years ago. One other area that's really important to me is the scams and rogue builders situation, hence my work with Nationwide Building Society. I do a lot with the local building society here, help support them and help support their customers in relation to those areas, and believe me, it does happen, and it happens quite regularly. So with regard to the future, Councillor Chandler mentioned that KCC are facing quite significant cuts. It's true that they are, and to balance the books, there is quite a significant review taking place right now. of that review, we'll be examining the role of the community warden service. And so there's no doubt at all that there will be a cut coming in the service. And I cannot guarantee that either my role here as employed by KCC, or indeed the role that I undertake within the Sandwich area, will continue beyond April 2024. So what I would ask you to do is that when the consultation paper comes out in July and August, I'd ask you to read that in detail and respond both as individuals but also as a council, hopefully supporting the work that I do and my colleagues do across Kent. So unless there's any questions that I can address now.
I haven't asked for questions, so it'd be at your discretion.
Okay, I'm happy to take them.
But it'll only be one question each. So I saw Councillor Marie's hand go up first.
It's not a question. It's more of a regarding the consultation that's possibly going to come out. Peter Gill is fantastic. He does a lot of work for Sandwich. I speak to him on a regular basis. I mean, he's got 2 homeless people off the streets and maybe it's getting housing via Debbie Bishop, the old PCSO. So and as a former community warden as well, the service is vital, because if the police cuts we've had and the police now, and also he will be more of a face in town. It will be for the new police officer. So
can I remind everybody it's a question, not a promotion. So if you've got a question, you can pose sorry, Councillor Marie, but it's a question to Peter Gill.
Just a very quick question, please. Could you make sure that we're alerted to the consultation?
Absolutely.
It's easy to miss something.
Yeah.
Let's do what's right
at
the right time.
Yeah. I'll get it out via the clerk ASAP, but July and August is public consultation to take effect from the new year.
Thank you very much for coming tonight, Peter, and I'll release you.
I'm going to stay.
Oh, indeed. Oh, that's very dedicated. Thank you very much for that. So that's to receive the report. We're now changing the order of the agenda to bring item number 18 forward, so that our long-suffering public members can actually address their issue, and then they can leave as well. So this is item number 18, is the traffic regulation order, Woodensborough Road, Birch Avenue and St Bart's Road, Sandwich. And this is a consultation by KCC Highways for the traffic regulation order, which is due to close on Monday the 26th of June at 12 noon. But I hasten to add that the town clerk has got us a deferment, so we can send through our recommendations or comments to that, and they have said they will consider it. So the town clerk's done a fantastic job to do that, and so the councillor can comment on this later this evening. I don't know what time later, the town clerk will be doing this, so I hope you'll be able to, so thank you very much. And this was attachment number 15 here, so I'll take one question from whoever's got a question on this. I'll take questions from that, from the councillors as to this traffic order and what comments you have or proposals you have that we need to send forward. I'm actually now exempt from this discussion, so I can't actually vote or say anything on it, because I've very stupidly already sent my objection on this matter to Kent Highways, and so I can't actually participate or vote on this at all. But as long as you haven't already commented on it, you're at liberty to do so. So I open the floor to comments or recommendations. Oh, Councillor Mallet. Thank you.
Thank you. Some comments. 300 metres of double yellow lines represents something like 60 car parking spaces. This is not taken into account on the various reports. It's a significant loss, and in this area in particular, it will have serious knock-on effects. Cars act as traffic calming. So you take the cars away, the cars can go faster. Admittedly, a car parked is a screen that hides a kid, but the slower car is maybe a better thing. The documents are difficult to understand. I struggled. I really struggled to go through to work out, is this a new W line? Is it an old W? You have to go there. You have to drive through and know the area. There doesn't seem to be much consideration of this area as a community. It's looked on as a road, but it's a community. I've known it, well, forever, as far as I'm concerned. I used to cycle to school up Woodensborough Road. The whole area should at worst be, and I'm talking about all the way into Woodensborough, at worst should be 30 miles per hour. Wingham, with better pavements, has a 20 mile per hour limit.
That's only because of that new development.
And they have parking throughout. Every square inch of parking is parking. There's very few double yellow lines in Wingham. The only bit is where the hatched area, because of the pedestrian crossing. They fit cars in wherever they can fit. And the comments I've had more recently is that there has been consultation going through to KCC, and it's generally been ignored. KCC have not got back. And if this is a general consultation, it should be two-way. It can't be a case of, we will tell you what things, and it never happens. And also, just one comment, there's two missing seats here. Well, there's two seats here, yes, with the two people who have a hell of a lot more influence than we do. They knew this was coming up. One of them actually asked when it was coming, would it be before or after their comments? I find that unfortunate. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm going to take Councillor Pennington, but I'm just going to notify Mr. Pettican that you actually had your right to speak earlier this evening.
Please, Council,
for 3 minutes.
Council, let me speak to you for a little while here. You will get the full picture of what this is really about.
You had.
Trust me. No, we've had all this rubbish before. People's lives are...
Councillor Pettican, I'm very sorry, but you applied, you were given 3 minutes at the start, and you should have done that. This item is applicable to councillors, so these are the councillors that you've elected to make a decision on this. So the councillors have now got to discuss and make a decision that will be put forward. This is the councillors' decision, not yours. So could I ask you to respect? Could I ask you to respect the councillors? So, Councillor Pennington, could we take your question?
Thank you. Just very briefly, I do use this road quite a lot. I do find the proposals from KCC unjustified. I would support an objection to them. I think it's really important that we again and again pass the message to KCC that they should consult with local people and with the local council as a matter of course and as a matter of importance.
Thank you.
Sorry, Chief. Sorry, can I just add, before they publish these proposals, they should consult before they publish.
That's it. So if nobody else, Councillor Franklin.
We know some residents at Woodensborough Road didn't like the development of Black Lane, and this is obviously what's going on now. A lot of these new councillors don't realise this plan. They've said it's going to be a dangerous road junction. It looks perfectly safe to me with the crossing point. One of the residents at Polish Guard actually come to me the other day and said it's a lot safer now because people are not parking on that bend like 1 and 2. And it's not
safer, we can all testify.
Can you please be quiet?
It's
You've
not
asked to be quiet.
I know you from the beginning when we put it forward. It's not about the development.
I'm very sorry, this is just for the councillors. If you wanted to speak, you have to apply to the town clerk and you get 3 minutes to speak at the very start of this meeting. You must respect this is the councillors, even if they've got a different opinion. Even if they've got a different opinion, you must respect them.
So, town team, where are you?
Mr Mayor, I vote on clear the public from the council so we can have a proper debate among the councillors.
Well, if they're prepared to be quiet, I'm prepared to allow them to stay. So did you finish what you were saying?
No, I didn't. I thought it was really rude.
Thank you. Please do not interrupt the councillors, please.
The residents at Polish Garden said to me it's a lot safer now because people are not parking on that bend right on there. Because before you had to go right out in the middle of the road to get around to come into Sandwich. And as for St Bart's, a lot of them people are catching the train, aren't they, in the day?
No, I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
they are. And they're blocking up St Bart's and Fordwich Place. You can see where that's coming from, because also there's a trouble, because it's the bus route.
Yeah.
The bus, and also the caravans. Hopefully the caravans start as soon as nobody's new access off the Ash Road. But there's so much people parking incorrectly, and that's what's causing the problem. So I know a lot of the residents, but I don't care. I live in Woodnesborough Road, and I'm all for it.
You don't live on the Province Gardens section.
Do you mind?
Thank you much.
Respect the
Could
name.
you, yeah, could we just keep this to councillors? Councillor Marie, could you answer?
Yeah, my concern is the speeding. As you're well aware, that this council agreed to have the 20 years penny brought back into the Sandwich town. It's a 20 mile an hour zone, and that includes St Bart's Road, Birch Avenue, and also the top part of Woodnesborough Road as you go just before the train crossing. I am for some of these double yellow lines, especially around Birch Avenue, St Bart's Road, because sometimes in the morning, during the night, when you drive home, especially I drive late at night at home, there are cars so close to each other. There is no way on this earth that a fire engine, if they need to get in, especially what's happening now in Hornflower Road with the fires that have been happening, there is no way that those vehicles, those large vehicles, can get into that road in time. So I agree. I do agree with you guys as well. I agree with Woodnesborough Road, but I agree the Birch Avenue side and the St Bart's Road side, that needs to be looked at, and I agree with some of the lines that are on there.
Okay. Right. What I need somebody to put a proposal forward, and somebody to second that proposal as to the matter of this TRO. As I say, I've stymied myself because I've already sent in an objection. So I can't be a party to voting or putting a proposal forward tonight. So I can't, but if somebody from the floor could put a proposal forward for this. So just to make sure, sorry, Councillor Black, so it will be about the traffic regulation order that's being presented to you for the consultation. So, and this doesn't stop you putting in private objections or whatever you wish afterwards. Councillor Black?
I'm sorry. This whole thing has got about 3 or 4 different areas. I think these folks are particularly concerned about one area. It's not a block proposal, I suggest, Mr Mayor. You really have to look at parts, because I agree with Councillor Marie. There are parts around Birch Avenue and so on, where if you don't put more yellow lines in, the place will come to a grinding halt. So, which is it? Are we trying to vote on the whole thing?
I can tell you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Black. So what this is so it's 100% clear, is Kent County Council Highways have put a consultation out, and they've said, if any of you have read this, they've said these are where we're putting double yellow lines in, these are where we're changing speed limits, etc, etc. Now we, as jointly as Sandwich Town Council, can put in an objection or a support of this or an abstention for this jointly as Sandwich Town Council. And previously, without him speaking, because I can simply put his hand up, I mentioned to Mr Pettican that we haven't got a very strong vote, but he insisted that I bring this to the council, which I promised I would, so I brought it to the council, and it's for the councillors to decide. This is going to go under Sandwich Town Council. It's not individual Mr Jones or Mr Smith, it's Sandwich Town Council's elective vote towards things. If somebody puts forward that we object strongly to this traffic regulation order, I will then vote on it, and those that say no, I want parts or all of this traffic order would have to vote against that proposal. So I hope that's clear what's happening here. So did you, Councillor Anderson was first.
Yes, I mean, I've heard all the comments, and I can see that this is a very complicated proposal with all sorts of sections to it, and you seem to be directing us that we either have to vote for the whole thing, or vote against the whole thing. That we can't vote for parts of it.
No. Now, if you go online, they will ask you if you're objecting against, because it's an RTO. So it's an RTO. the number isn't on there, but there should be a number, so it should be RTO 2021, like that. So you either object against all of them, but if you're for it, then you would vote against it. So, but we can't pick it apart and pick some pieces and
apart by
others.
KCC already.
Mr Mayor, may I, please?
Councillor Marie, for the second, that's your last time you can
so
stand.
the consultation is in two parts.
Yeah.
One for Woodensborough Road,
Yeah.
and one for St Bart's and Birch Avenue. So I propose this to the council that
Good, thank you. At last.
we approve that we, as a consultation of the Sandwich Town Council, we approve that Birch Avenue, St Bart's Road and stuff have the double yellow lines, and we reject the Woodensborough Road double yellow lines. Is that
right? Okay.
Yes.
No, not you can't.
So that's we disapprove of that.
Okay, so this, whether we like it or not, this is a proposal that has been put forward in a legitimate council chamber. So that is a proposal put forward. Did you have a seconder for that, Councillor Marie?
I think splitting it, we're going to at least move forward. Okay. So I'll second that.
So you'll second that, okay.
Yes.
So we're voting on Councillor Marie's proposal. Did you need to hear it again, or are you all happy to vote on it at all? You're all happy to vote on that? So that we're going ahead with the Birch Avenue, but not the Woodensborough Road. So those in favour, it's been proposed and seconded, those in favour of this one, please put your, I'm not allowed to vote, put your cards up as to how you want to
In favour
vote.
of what exactly? We're voting for the introduction of double yellow lines in Birch Avenue and St Bart's Road.
Councillor Marie's proposal.
Can I just
Could
clarify?
you? Yeah.
Can we split it?
No.
Yeah.
That was the proposal that was put forward.
And then for and against the other.
Yeah.
Otherwise, because it seems like we're voting for one and against the other.
Yeah.
Yes, so that was my proposal, Mr Mayor. So we vote for one, which is we vote for the proposals for Woodensborough Road, for St Bart's Road and Birch Avenue, and then we support the residents for Woodensborough Road, and as a council we propose that it shouldn't be allowed and we reject it.
Okay,
Is that clear to everybody? So it's two votes.
And
yes,
the only problem is to slow
we
it
can't.
down.
Sorry, I'm sorry. We can't have any discussion. It's an official proposal, and the seconder. Are you happy to accept that? So you've heard what the proposal is, and we've got a seconder. So all those in favour of the proposal, please raise your cards.
Introduce
double yellow lines in Birch Avenue and St Bart's Road.
Right, so that proposal is carried and will be taken forward. It's very important as our deferred comment on this matter. So, and that is, we can't do anything for 6 months now. That is in stone for that actual item.
So what?
I can now release the members of the public. I'd like to say thank you very much for coming tonight.
It's in two parts, so we need to vote now for the Woodensborough Road part.
Oh, I thought you'd already said
it's
it.
two parts, as I said a couple of times.
Okay, right then. So those in favour of the not going forward for the Woodensborough Road part, please vote now. Against this second section.
So we're voting against.
Yes.
So that's 2. Okay, thank you very much for that. Thank you, members of the public, for coming along.
Thank you.
And thank you very much for being so patient with us. So if you are still at liberty to write into this council and put anything forward to the council.
It's just about slowing them down. We've got the double yellows coming around the bend.
Indeed.
Which, okay, we've got the double yellows, but the people aren't slowing, and it's become a racetrack. It was fast, but now it's so dangerous. We're going to lose our life on this road. And
Please.
there's a lot of families, of young people, disabled people, and all of the people from Woodensborough Village walk into Sandwich. the lady with a buggy that works in HPC, the
Sorry.
the people that hold each other up.
I'm very sorry. I'm very sorry. We've got a large number of items still to continue, and you're more than welcome. I said you can write into the council, or you can request a meeting with myself and any of the councillors, and we can do that as well.
I'll send you a courtesy email tomorrow.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Sorry. Thank you very much.
Okay, so moving on.
Mr. Mayor, normally the disabled, I know it's a bit reluctant, but normally the disabled access member Jim Cummings is through the Mayor's parlour. I think it's very dangerous by that staircase to go out that door.
Is he halfway out there, is he now?
Yeah, we should go through that door there. I think it's been out now, but
Councillor Chuka, oh sorry, would I be able to, I think he's got enough assistance, could I ask you to return, because on the hour I'm going to have to ask you whether you want to continue or defer to another day. So, okay, so we're going back now to item number 16, which is the allotments working group, and this is for members to consider the membership of the allotments working group and agree that the meetings are scheduled on a regular basis, and I need a proposer and a seconder for a decision on this. So, Councillor Franklin.
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, it was you and I with only two councillors on it, wasn't there? And three allotment holders.
We were.
So at the moment there's just me on there still, and I quite enjoy meeting them because they actually chair their own meeting.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we need another.
Oh, definitely, Councillor Franklin. Yeah, so can I just say, just before I bring you in, Councillor Wiles, that if you attended the annual town meeting, allotments is one of our statutory requirements. So it's very important that we maintain the allotments. So we've got Councillor Franklin. Did we have anybody else? These are daytime meetings, yeah, but did we have anybody else that would like to join him? It's usually a smaller committee, but if we've got any willing volunteers, I'll be pleased to include them. Oh, did you wish to speak?
I wish to speak briefly. Allotments come under the Finance and General Purposes Committee, who should administer and oversee allotments. A working group is a time-limited body. We're not talking about a time-limited body here. No. I've no objection, I'm an allotment holder at St Bart's, I've no objection to the group meeting informally and reporting to Finance, but to set up another formal working group is not what we should be doing.
No.
Yeah. And the allotment I had in Cambridge, we had a management committee of allotmenteers run by the allotment, so it's something we need to think about for the future, not this kind of ad hoc relationship.
No. Councillor Frank?
Well, we did try that with the allotment holders, and they weren't interested, and they got in such a state, so they decided that the council, especially Councillor Trust, who was mayor at the time, it's got its own budget, it only meets 4 times a year, it's 2 councillors, 3 allotment holders. And actually discuss the state of the allotments, who's not looking after them, and who, you know, and get new people in. But it's only a 2-hour meeting. It doesn't have to go to the fine. What's it? I think she says it's its own budget, isn't it?
Yeah.
The skip. So I think we just leave it as it is. It's not an extra committee. It's a committee that's been going for years.
That's,
sorry, it has its own budget. I've got.
Yes, it does.
Anyone aware of? Working group.
Got the balance sheet.
No, sorry. It's committee creep.
It's committee years.
I'll bring in the town clerk here because she may have some legal.
Well, all I was going to say, I think, because obviously time is of the essence this evening, my suggestion is to defer this item. I think that an officer should be involved because that is.
No, we did have an officer, Kelly or Caroline.
Yeah, so I think we defer this because obviously at the moment capacity is limited with staff resources. So I think this is something that can be deferred to a future meeting.
So if you don't mind, Councillor Franklin, it's probably best if we get an officer to come along to the deferred meeting, and then we can also have evidence of the budget that you said as well.
Next meeting's not for 3 months anyway.
Oh right, I see. Okay. So what's being proposed is that this is being deferred so that we can get an officer to attend and we can get the information from the responsible financial officer as to the budget for this. So all those in favour, so I'm proposing it. Are you seconding that? So Councillor Marie seconding that. All those in favour? Thank you very much. That's unanimous there. So, and item number 17 is Bay Hall Insurance. And members to consider a report from the RFO to include free quotations for renewal of property insurance for the Bay Hall property. This is attachment 14. There is a decision required on this. My preference here is actually to maintain what the responsible financial officer is saying, is to keep it with the current company, which are not only a local company, but they fully understand the situation of the property. So if you go to an outside company like Zurich or somebody else, you'd probably have to have a meeting with them to explain the situation. It's not a habitable bungalow that a family are living in with parents and 2 children. So there's a unique specification to this, and the company that we've got that are currently covering it are fully understanding of that. And so my proposal is the RFO's proposal, and that's to stick with the current insurance.
And I will second that.
Oh, thank you very much. That's Councillor Gray. All those in favour of keeping... Thank you very much. That's unanimous there. Thank you. Okay, and then going back to item number 19, Dover Neighbourhood Watch Association AGM. So members are invited to consider if a town councillor, singular, should be nominated to attend the Dover District Neighbourhood Watch Association AGM with the intention of the Town Council joining the Neighbourhood Watch Association in the future. An officer can be delegated as a link member. So decision required on this, attachment 16. So we need a councillor to go along and then appoint an officer as a link member. Councillor Wiles, did you have your hand up?
Alternatively, I would propose that we nominate a member of the town team to this. It's more relevant to their...
Right, I see. They've actually asked for a councillor to attend this. Councillor Marie?
Yeah, Mr Mayor, I might be able to solve that problem for you, Councillor Wiles. Considering as I'm the STC rep for town team, and also I am a town councillor, and I have worked with Neighbourhood Watches in the London Borough of Bromley, where I used to live many years ago, and I am in the process of looking into trying to see if we can establish a Neighbourhood Watch for Sandwich, because of the uncertainty of the new police officer, the uncertainty of the new the community warden. So if the council agrees, I'd like to nominate myself to attend this meeting.
Could I ask you one question? Could I ask you one question, Marie? Did we have the date of the AGM?
It's Thursday the 20th of July.
So it's Thursday the 20th of July at 7:30. Would you be...
Any meetings that arise, if I give enough notice to my employer, they allow me to attend.
Oh, well done, that's superb. So I've had that seconded, and all those in favour? Thank you very much. Okay, item number 20, membership on outside bodies. Following the nominations for the Port and Haven Commissioners, Councillor Gray will no longer be one of the nominated Port and Haven Commissioners from STC. Councillor Franklin has very kindly said he would step in as the new nominee, and if agreed will join Councillor Fortescue as the 2 nominations that would need to be formally appointed by Dover District Council. So I'm formally proposing that this arrangement goes ahead. Or Councillor Gray has a question.
Can I just say that when I was nominated to be on the Port and Haven Commission, I was not at that meeting, so I did not realise until just recently that I had been nominated. And if I was at a meeting, I would then have refused, because I think, particularly now that Dover Council have published their report on the key, and in view of my involvement in that, I feel I can be more effective if I'm
Indeed.
independent of any individual group in trying to get everybody
Thank you for
together.
that. Yeah. And
I would also say just one more thing. I do actually have personal issues with one or two of the commissioners, which I
No
won't
need
go
to go into detail.
forum.
No need for details. And I must apologise, Councillor Gray, it was me who put you forward because it was a Port and Haven Commission. I put forward the two people who I thought actually had first-hand knowledge of sailing and marine. So I put forward Councillor Fortescue and yourself. So I'm proposing to put forward Councillor Franklin and Councillor Gray. Thank you very much, Councillor Marie. And all those in favour? We've got one abstention. Okay. And then item number 21, Maddox Working Group Report, attachment 17. Councillor Breen has been to ask members to consider a report on the progress and main points of discussion during the Maddox Working Group meeting, which was held on the 13th of June 2023. Members are invited to consider and approve the recommendations of the Maddox Working Group, and a decision is required.
Opposed.
Seconded. Okay. And all those in favour of the recommendations? That's unanimous. Thank you very much.
Mr Mayor, point of order, please.
Oh, indeed.
Can I ask that this council agrees to go straight to Tollbridge Fund before we continue to confidential items, because the time is of an essence.
Indeed. Indeed. I can ask, because I believe if you wanted to defer the Sandwich Tollbridge Fund, it's up to your own personal commitments. We can defer that to another evening, or you can continue with it. But I can't establish how long it would take. So I could put that to you at this point in time. So it's up to you. It's what you wanted to do.
It's a very short meeting, Mr. Mayor.
Indeed. So
through quick.
you're proposing to
on block.
Yeah,
okay, super.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So we've had that. That's superb.
Yeah.
Okay then. So the vote is to take the confidential items
After the Tollbridge.
22, 24A, 24B after the Tollbridge Fund.
Yeah.
All in favour? Thank you. No against that. Thank you very much. So we're now coming out